All right, here's the workout. We're gonna start on our back. So come to the floor, lay on your back. We're gonna work on the anterior chain first. Big toes together, heels apart. Roll your legs in, interior, internal rotation, and then flex your ankle. Don't point your toes, just flex the ankle, spread the toes, knees together, slightly off the ground. Check this curvature on your low back. Think, tuck the tailbone, pin the front ribs down. Shoulders gonna stay retracted to the floor, the press towards the hips, and ideally an external rotation. But we'll work with that later. So for now, fingertips on the ground. All you're gonna do from here is keep your low back on the floor as best as possible. Take a few big breaths here, and then barely lift the head off the ground, just enough that the weight is no longer resting, and then tuck your chin in. Double chin, triple chin, whatever it takes for the head to be barely off the ground and the chin in towards the chest as much as possible. Make sure that the shoulders stay down, elbows off the floor, wide with the arms to the side, and check your feet, ankles flex, toes spread, toes together, heels apart, knees together. Tuck the tailbone, pin the front ribs, crush the spine to the ground, shoulders down and back, take a big breath, and then slowly lower. Relax for a sec, and roll onto your belly. So we're gonna do an extension here. Similar position, big toes touching, heels apart, knees together, toes barely off the ground, not closing the hamstring, keeping it nice and long, toes off the ground. Start with your forehead on the ground. And once you got your knees together and the ground, big toes together, ankle flex, that shin muscle burning, you can lift the head, tuck the chin, lift the head, tuck the chin, lift the head, tuck the chin, hands and elbows off the ground, open the palms, spread the fingers. Shoulders back, away from the ground, towards the hips. Try to work with that external rotation. Don't move the wrist, don't flex the wrist. Try to just elevate the wrist up higher than the elbow, elbows higher, wrist higher. Chin down, head up, chin down, head up. Flex the ankles, squeeze the knees, separate the heels. Tuck the tailbone. One more big breath. And slowly lower. Okay, let's go on our back again, face up. Same thing. Second set. Toes together, heels apart, knees together, zipping up the legs. So roll the thighs in, internal rotation. Flex the ankle, anterior tibialis, your front shin muscles engaging. Chin in towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. Tuck the tailbone. Pin the front ribs down. Engage your core. Contract your abdominals, rectus, transverse, obliques to send the spine down to the ground. When you're ready, arms to the side, not right next to the body, go wide, not to a T either, more like 45 to 60 degrees. Fingertips on the ground, elbows off the ground, shoulders retract, squeeze the rhomboids, the press. Good. Check everything, and then when you're ready, lift the head, tuck the chin. Lift the head, tuck the chin. Check the low back. Check the knees, check the feet. Chin in. Head barely off the ground. Shoulders retracting, depressing, external rotation. Tuck the chin. Head barely off the ground. One more big breath. And slowly release. And face down again. All right, big toes together, heels apart, toes off the ground, knees together, forehead on the ground. Set up your arms cactus shaped, meaning your elbows pointing straight away from each other, arms bent at 90 degrees, so that when you lift, you lift straight up. So check the toes, knees, ankles flexing, flexing ankles, don't point, flex. Try to pull from your pinky, chin to the chest, lift the head up, chin to the chest, lift the head up. On this one, we are trying to work our head up as high as we can. Obviously, as soon as the elbows and hands come off the ground, we're gonna lose some of that height. Keep working with tucking the tailbone, chin in, breathe. Check the toes, heels, ankles, knees, tailbone tuck, chin to the chest, back of the neck long. Open the palms, open the fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, rhomboids, lats, external rotation, take a big breath, and relax. All right, let's come up to standing. You can always use a wall for this, right? So if you need to check that you're hinging, you can start with heels, sacrum, shoulders, and head on the wall. And then just take a easy step, a small step forward, so that when you practice hinging, you're reaching for that wall back behind. Not resting on it, but barely touching. So if you have a wall, find a wall, but you don't really need one. You can always do this anywhere, anytime. So stand up tall, very, very tall. Start checking your feet, toes in, heels out. Make sure your knees are never locked, but we're also not trying to bend them either. Just micro bend. Check the tucking from the get-go. If you tend to hyperextend your low back and hyper arch, you gotta start tucking from the get-go. As you're standing up tall, tuck a little bit. Chin down, shoulders back. Let's come into this open arm position and then find your hinge. We're not bowing, right? We're not lowering the chest with the hips locked. We wanna keep the chest high and the hips going back. Find the hamstring, find your glutes, find your paraspinals. Tuck the tailbone if you feel like you're doing too much hyperextension, and then work those shoulders back, down, and externally rotated. Chin to the chest, but think of that floor and you're pulling, you're retracting. You can try this chicken head movement a few times if you want. Head forward, head back. And then just keep it back, hips back. Once you're in the position, inhale, external rotation, exhale, internal rotation. But we're gonna do it in 3 parts. So first, upper arms, external rotation, then the forearms, then the hands. Keep the hinge, check the tailbone, check the back, check the chin. Close the shoulders, forearms, hands. That's the exhale. Keep the hands and forearms, shoulders, forearms, hands. Keep the hands and forearms, shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, hands. So we inhale like a wave, exhale like a wave, making sure both shoulders move at the same speed. Yeah, and we're just doing reps here. Toes on the ground, hips stay back, chest stays high, tailbone tucking, shoulders back. Keep breathing. Make sure you're going shoulders, arms, hands. Shoulders, arms, hands. 2 more times on each direction. Last one here. And then just stand up, relax the arms, close your eyes, notice your posture for a moment. All right, great work. So you're welcome to do that again.